Hi everybody, it's been a while since I did a recording. Today I'd like to do a special tribute recording. It's something I've been working on for a while. It's not a tribute to one of my former players from Chiparamba, but definitely a tribute to somebody that made an impression on me in Zambian football from my early days when I was involved in promoting youth football in Lusaka. So here goes. So between 1996 and 1998, my friend and brother, Anthony Kasolo, worked together to promote youth football in Zambia, particularly in Lusaka. And the idea was to find opportunities in professional clubs in Europe, Central America, North America, clubs, scholarships, whatever opportunities. And the approach was to create platforms where these players could be seen. So in some cases, we arranged for players to go directly on trials in Greece, in Poland, in Belgium. In other cases, they went to academies. We had two players, Dabwisonkoma and Joseph Katongo, who went to the Adidas Football Academy in Bradenton, Florida, which is owned by IMG Sport. Boston Wanza went to Poland and Greece. There were a number of players, yeah. So during that process, we received an invitation in 1998 for a team to go and participate in the Tournoi de Croix, which is one of the most prestigious tournaments in France and on the European spring circuit that's played in and around the Easter weekend. Now, we did not want this invitation to go to a particular club. The idea was to put together a select side of players from cooperating clubs that can go and participate and whilst in France be seen. So we dubbed the team Lusaka Select. We began to raise sponsorship to get them there. We approached the late Boniface Simtoe to be the coach of the team, and he put together a team that was made up of Lusaka-based players from the previous under-17 national team, from clubs like Lusaka Dynamos, Profund Warriors, Zanaco, Zamshua, and so on. During that process, I had the opportunity, the fortune, to meet one Nsofwa, Milla, Chaswe. Now, Chaswe was very special. There were a number of special players in that group, but for me, Chaswe stands out amongst the best, not just for his footballing talent, but also his demeanor, his approach, his confidence. So during that process of preparing to go to France, we eventually went to France, played 5 good games in France. We reached the semifinals of the tournament. The tournament had teams like the US national team, Anderlecht, Sao Paulo Portuguesa from Brazil. Who else was there? Of course, Lille Olympic Sporting Club. And in addition to those clubs, since Lille is in northern France, on the border with Belgium, a number of scouts and agents came across from Belgium to watch the tournament. We got a number of players to be seen and went on trials and attachments in Belgium. But let me bring the story back to Chaswe. I got to watch Chaswe play. Obviously got to know him on the journey across to Europe during the time of the tournament. I got to know him further later in the year when he was selected for the under-20 team under Patrick Piri, when Zambia played their last qualifying round before going to the under-20 Africa Cup in Ghana. They were drawn against Egypt, home and away. First leg at Independence Stadium in Lusaka, second leg in Port Said in Egypt. After Zambia destroyed Egypt by 3-0 in Lusaka, the Teti Molonga executive approached Anthony and I and asked us if we could, in the 2 weeks between the home leg and the away leg, organize a camp in Europe where the boys could prepare, play friendly matches, and then from Europe, fly straight into Belgium. So with a very short window of 5 to 6 days, we managed to reach back out to some of the people that we had met when we were at the Tournoi de Croix, and we arranged for the team to camp in Belgium. Whilst in Belgium, they played a couple of friendly matches, obviously got to see Chaswe again. Anthony and I traveled with the team from Lusaka to Belgium, spent a week in Belgium. From there, we flew into Cairo, took the bus from Cairo to Port Said, played the qualifying game. It was a really tough game. 40,000 screaming Egyptians put us under immense pressure. And to be honest, the boys did crack. We were 2-0 down at halftime. Egypt just needed one more goal to take the game into extra time, into penalties. And we tried to withstand the pressure and we couldn't. Egypt made it 3-0. We were level. We went into penalties, and after being down by one penalty, our goalkeeper, Stali Mulife, rescued us, and Zambia won the tie on penalties, and we qualified to the 1999 Under-20 Africa Youth Championships in Ghana. Again, we went to Belgium to prepare. We went to Ghana. From Ghana, we came fourth in the tournament, which allowed us to qualify for the World Cup in Nigeria 6 weeks later. After the Nigeria tournament, we went back to the 1999 edition of the Tournoi de Croix. Chaswe was in that team as well. So as you can see, during that window, I would say, March, April 1998 through to, I would say, June 99, I spent a lot of time outside of the country, but also in Zambia when there were camps, when we were preparing documentation for them to travel. So I really had the opportunity to see at close quarters what Chaswe was all about. For me, the highlight, and I always love to highlight a positive moment. The highlight for me was at the tournament in Ghana. Zambia was based in Kumasi. In Group B, it was Zambia, Nigeria, Guinea-Conakry, and Malawi. In the first game, we beat Malawi by 1-0. We went into the second game against Guinea. And the Guineans had been strutting around Kumasi when the mayor of Kumasi invited all the teams to his residence for a cocktail the night before the tournament kicked off. The Guineans were in their traditional wear. The Zambian team were in their tracksuits. You know how we are, Zambians, traditionally quite small, especially compared to the West Africans. Now, I speak French, so I could hear what the Guineans were saying. They were really disrespecting our players and basically saying, we're going to run over these kids when we play them. I always tell people, from my experience in Zambian football, one of the biggest mistakes that teams make is underestimating Zambian players. Guinea were punished. After we beat Malawi by 1-0, we needed 3 points to secure our qualification to the tournament in Nigeria, because 5 teams went to that tournament. Guinea took a bashing. Even though they had Pascal Fain-Duno and a number of other players that were already playing in Europe and were highly touted, we ran over them by 6-2. Chaswe scored a hat-trick. He was unplayable. He was unbelievable that day. He took the Guinean defense on the left side, the right side. He took them to school. They could not handle him. So yeah, that's a great memory I have of Chaswe. As I said, we went to the World Cup. Fast forward to 2007. By this time, Chaswe has graduated to the senior national team. He's had professional stints in Malaysia, in Russia, and he's on the verge of securing the biggest deal of his career in Israel. He had a trial organized for him by what ZambianFootball.net referred to as super agent. I think it's ZambianFootball.net. Excuse me if I've got the page wrong, but they referred to Nia Karim as the super agent. I refer to Nia Karim as one of the best friends of Zambian football. Nia arranged the trial. Chaswe went there in his last trial game before signing. Again, he put on a stellar performance. 2 goals. Everybody, the club, coaches, admin, supporters were really excited about this new signing. He's in preparation for his first official game, which was a cup game. Chaswe collapsed on the training field. The team medics went into the field, tried to help him, tried to resuscitate him. They had to call in an ambulance. The ambulance came in between the training facility and the hospital. Chaswe's heart stopped. That was the end. Nsofwa Milla Chaswe was no more. It was a very sad moment because Nia and Chaswe had formed a very good relationship. Chaswe had promised him that he would take him to Zambia and make him a king, introduce him to other Zambian players and clubs and administrators, etc. The irony of it is Nia did end up coming to Zambia because of Chaswe. Unfortunately, it was to carry his casket for the funeral, where the Zambian people, led by late President Frederick Chiluba, the Zambia national team, the FAS administration, and many, many friends, family, and supporters said goodbye to the great Nsofwa Milla Chaswe. I feel privileged that I got to see him at close quarters. So this tribute, for the younger soccer fans who maybe have heard the name, those who haven't, Zambia lost an amazing person. He was outgoing, he was friendly, but on the field, he was a monster. On his day, Nsofwa Milla Chaswe was unplayable. So my friend, until I see you play again up there, rest in peace. And it was truly an honor and a privilege to know you and to watch you play. Nsofwa Milla Chaswe, a Zambian legend. Rest in peace.